We are live a couple minutes early. If she clicked live 10 seconds ago, you would have heard me doing some weird gasping for pain as I hit my left knee on the table pretty darn hard.
Yeah, you did. Startled the dog.
Which is funny because he can't hear.
Nothing.
But we have a lot on this show today, so wanted to jump in a couple minutes early and thank everybody for tuning in. I know some people are here for Grandaddy participant announcement.
Yes.
As well as we gave away 2 free trips to Hidden Creek for Shaft Up with UST Mamiya. That is going to be freaking insane. We have some people don't care. Some people do care. We have an update on Arrow coming later in the show.
Yes.
But it's partially, I would say, good news.
Partially good news, yes. But hence the reason that it's a hot mess over here.
I'm low energy today. Wrong pipe. Way to start it off.
Oh, geez.
But yeah, so we're going to go over both those contest winners coming up later in the show. We're going to split them. We're not going to make people wait till the very end of the show for all of it. We are for the Grandaddy, but
well, obviously.
But for Shaft Up, no, it's going to come in the middle. But we got a lot of good THPer questions this week, surprisingly, on a very short notice kind of thing. You know, every week we put up a new thread and it says, hey, join us. Ask anything you want. We've been pretty transparent. Like, we'll talk about anything within reason.
Yeah. Somehow you find a way to drop an F-bomb.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Oh, I'm planning something.
Oh, are you?
No, I don't know.
But I'm going to jump right into the questions.
You're not going to do your intro?
Yeah, I guess I should. Right. I mean, we're back after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Worst Golf Podcast. Everybody wants to be the best. We strive to be the worst, which we are good at.
We're very
every
successful
single week.
at that.
When a bad take is necessary, we'll be here to share it with you. I'm your host, JB. With me is Morgan. She'll spend most of her time off camera, even though she was supposed to click the button and show us both when I say that. But she's got a whole bunch of buttons over there to keep me in line.
He didn't even give me a chance.
You didn't
even give me a chance.
Before we get started, you got to go through the whole thing, you know, smash that like button, subscribe, the whole 9 yards. If you're watching, we're simultaneously on YouTube, Facebook, our website, and our forum. They can watch it any one of those places. If you want to be part of the super chat, and we have people in there chatting away, you have to be on YouTube or Facebook. Both of those comments will come through to us and to everybody else as part of the chat. But most people, I think, are on either our forum or YouTube, you know, coming through. But it's a way to converse with everybody else as we drop F-bombs as you do, basically.
Yeah, that's me. By the way, I'm going to give you a compliment.
Oh, yeah?
You nailed simultaneously.
What do you mean?
Usually you stumble on that word. You nailed it.
I don't think that's true.
Oh, it's true.
And that's not really a compliment, saying that I normally suck at it, but I did okay
No, that
this
is
time.
A compliment. That's me saying to you, you did a great job. Your response should be, right, people? Thank you. My response then is, you're welcome. You're welcome.
You all done?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to jump right into THPer questions. The first one this week is fresh off the Goat Cup. And if you go down the line real fast, Morgan, on the camera, you know, down the line, I just want to point out those 2 rings.
Yes.
Those are championship rings that, you know, we won at the Goat Cup being part of Team Finley. Okay, you can switch it back now. Somebody asked in the comments before I get to this question why I'm wearing a hoodie. It's Budget Championship week, and you can kind of see this is from the Budget Championship a couple of years ago. THP logo on the Peter Millar hoodie. So wanted to support that for that event coming up next week. But got a question fresh off the Goat Cup about Arbor Links being perfect for team competition. They basically said, is it perfect for team competition?
Yes. I just want to say that every time you put a picture up, I was just in awe. It was beautiful.
Of course, it's phenomenal. They had a really rough weather patch, the superintendent was telling me, where it went from freezing to hot and rainy back to freezing in about a 14-day period. And the grass was kind of screwed up.
I was going to say, I bet the grass loved that.
But he made the most of it, and it was phenomenal. And the greens were perfection. Really firm, really fast. I would say it does make for a perfect team competition where, you know, like all the Dormy Network clubs, you feel like you're the only ones on the course because the 15-minute tee time intervals, the way the routing is done and everything. So from that aspect, it's really good. But the other side of that is when because of the placement of the comfort station, you'll run into your, I guess, teammates or opponents a couple of times around, or you could, unless they're so far behind like they were for us.
Comfort stations were legit in
Yeah,
the pictures.
They were solid.
Yes.
Similar to Dormy Club.
Okay.
I think slightly better because they had the ice cream sandwiches rolling around in there, which are
saw
pretty
that.
good. Didn't try one, ironically enough. I grabbed it and didn't eat it.
Really?
Yeah.
Shocked by that.
But overall, just a really, really good experience.
Yeah.
But one of the things that separates that one from some of the other Dormy clubs, and we've talked about this before, when you're at a Dormy Network property, it's golf.
Mhm.
Golf, dining, some good drinks.
Yeah.
There's not a lot to do otherwise.
No.
Well, this one had a bonus room downstairs that had a pool table, a ping pong table, a wine room, and things like that. So it gave people the opportunity to, God forbid you're rained out or something like that.
Right.
You got something to do. Briggs Ranch has that too, but it's outside. You have the axe throwing and the ping pong table, but it's outside.
That's a terrible idea. But
yeah, I do too. And based on the THPers throwing horseshoes at each other for the game, I think it's probably a bad idea in general. But Arbor Links is really cool. The one thing that I'll say is when you're going to it, or if you get lucky enough to go to it, you drive down a gravel road and you literally start hearing banjos. You're like, what the hell is going on? But it was phenomenal. You seem to be laughing at the chat. Anything exciting going on in there?
There's a whole lot of talk about sandals and Birkenstocks and then wasting ice cream.
That's weird.
So
I hope that answers the question on Arbor. I think it is perfect. Somebody asked again, and I'm just going to kind of roll into that, is if I had to rank the properties, what would be at the top? Arbor and Ballyhack are there for me. For pure golf course, Arbor Links is probably number one. Which
is interesting because you're not a link style guy.
No, I'm really not. But Ballyhack is, I'd say, partially links.
Like a hybrid?
Yeah, Ballyhack is better for the views. But Arbor Links is just so pure and playable. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Jumping right into it, we haven't done a Get Off My Lawn in a while. So I will say take it over because you got a good one here.
All right. So this has been happening a lot recently, and I just felt like I needed to say something. This is like a PSA to all the stupid, annoying Facebook group people. If somebody posts like, hey, I need a recommendation for like the best place to get like, meatballs or like whatever food item that they're posting about, asking, usually it's in like some like local restaurant thread.
Yeah, like our neighborhood Facebook group.
Or even like in a, your regional, like just food thread, where they say like, tell us about the restaurants in your area, whatever. And these idiots always say, and yeah, I'm calling you idiots, my kitchen. Are you serious? Get off my lawn.
Get the fuck out of here with that. Oh,
it.
Sorry. It's not their kitchen. We know that.
Kitchen. Like, it's so annoying. I can't stand that. So for all of those people, you're a douchebag.
That might be as bad as the F-bomb.
I don't think so.
I'm just throwing
That's
that
allowed.
out there. I think it probably is.
Yeah.
You guys tell us in the chat, is D-bag as bad as F-bomb?
Oh, that's a good debate.
I don't know the answer to that.
This mom over here.
Mom.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, mom.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Says it's fine.
We're going to go back to some THPer questions. The next one is bad weather at a THP experience. And some people seem to like to post the weather report.
Oh, I know.
But I'll be honest, I'm not as superstitious about it.
You're not. It drives me crazy.
Whatever happens.
He is not superstitious at all, except for like one or two random things. And it drives me insane. It does.
Okay. That's weird.
Go on.
I'm superstitious about that. You interrupting, and now the whole show's going to shit.
That's not a superstition. That's just marital conflict.
What's the worst weather we've ever had at an experience? I can think of two.
There were a couple where you had to pull over right under a bridge or something.
Yeah, so we had a Morgan Cup at Hammock Beach one year that was torrential downpour to the point where we were putting through like ponds on the green.
Like little rivers.
We had a Cobra event outside of Chicago, in the suburbs of Chicago. You were with me for that one. That was really bad.
I was shopping.
Yeah. And then we had, this was not a THP event, but I did a content trip with Danny.
Oh yeah.
And Maynard was with us, the Grandaddy captain, and a local friend. And we went to Dormy Club, and I've never got to try out rain gear quite like that.
I was going to say, that's when you discovered your rain gear worked better than everyone else's.
It was bad. But overall, I don't play in the rain, but I made the post a couple weeks ago. Like I'm
That's right.
equipped. What's that?
Club Clash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm equipped. Good rain gear, an
Mhm.
umbrella, and rain gloves, and good shoes make all the difference in the world.
Did you find your other glove?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. My rain glove. Yeah,
Yeah.
we did a little spring cleaning of the tech studio, and one rain glove was there, one wasn't. It was still attached to the bag.
Okay,
So
good.
yeah, we're good there. So I think those would be the worst. But like I said, if you're one of those people like me that locally you're never going to play in the rain,
Right.
it's okay to invest in good rain gear because it would be the worst if you
Oh.
got lucky enough to go to, let's say, the Grandaddy
Yeah.
or one of our experiences and it's raining. Well,
It's
what are you
gonna
going to
last
do?
It's going to last you forever, too.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You're just going to not play, you know?
No.
So
I mean,
I'm
play in the
always
rain, but
ready for what's coming.
right.
I saw Dean is in the chat. He said non-THP event, the staff weekend that we did in Nashville, that was bad. We played 4 holes before we had to just leave the course. We might have only played 3 holes.
Yeah.
That was bad. And we were all in a cart and Dan was walking. And for some reason, he didn't want the push cart out of principle because his course doesn't allow you to have one. Our course was just like, yeah, there's one right there.
Do
Go ahead
whatever
and
you
take
want.
it.
Yeah.
So he was walking out of principle and just getting pummeled. I felt
Stubborn.
bad for him for a couple of minutes.
And then
I was
much.
cruising around in the cart under shelter. Next THPer question was, this was an interesting one, and I don't really know how to answer it, but I'm going to try. It was event weekend or during the week. What's viewed more as a success on our end? And I guess I can answer it, but for both metrics and the staff that are there.
Sure.
The metrics say during the week is astronomically better.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, it's twofold, though. And I'm going to be transparent here and say we give every company a choice.
Mhm.
I shouldn't say that. We give most people a choice. Which one do you prefer? Sometimes scheduling takes precedent.
I was going to say sometimes it's just a matter of the dates not working out.
And when it comes to the metrics of eyeballs on the live update thread, it's like 7-1 if it's during the week or weekend.
Absolutely.
It's not even close. Now, I will say signups substantially less.
Again, yeah.
People have work, people,
Yeah.
family, things like that. So it's something that we talk a lot about, and we do them both. I mean, there's an event this coming weekend, but I would say the majority are during the week.
Mhm.
Being that they're small, we're willing to roll the dice on signups. I'm pretty sure we can come up with a handful of people to go to any event.
Yes.
But I think that when it comes to metrics, it's during the week. Now, when it comes to staff, meaning the people from the OEMs, that's really a question for them.
Yes.
But Jason Finley had a great line from the GOAT Cup we just finished. No matter how you slice it, this is still work.
Right.
It's not a bad day at the office playing Arbor Links and, doing it, but it is still work.
Yep.
So going during the week made the most sense. I think you can do them both.
Mhm.
And I think there's a fine line or a happy medium in having them available at both. But I would say when it comes to pure data, the metrics say you should do them during the week every single time. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. And I'll ask THPers if we're doing them during the week or during the weekend, which one are you available to follow along with?
Yeah.
Because that's really what it comes down to, right?
Yeah. And the metrics say it's during the week when you're at work.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to switch this up. We got a THPer question, but it's really more geared towards you.
Okay.
And it wasn't really a THPer question. It was more, I'm a THPer and I asked the question.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Oh, is this the kids menu?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So this is an ongoing debate between us. And we used to, because I used to do this all the time. And you get so mad at me.
Mad.
You
No,
weren't thrilled.
No, it's stealing.
It's not stealing. Is it okay to order off the kids menu? If I only want a kid-sized portion, why can't I just order off the kids menu? I'm paying for the portion for which I eat.
But sometimes it's not just a portion thing. Sometimes,
Yeah.
I mean, it is a portion thing, but
portion
it's
thing.
also a thing to get parents to bring their children there, to making their meals slightly cheaper.
But we're not talking about
But
kids menu at a restaurant. We're talking about it like a fast food type of situation. Basically, this really all stems down or goes down to Slim Chickens. Okay,
Yeah,
let's just
the chicken tender
let's
place.
just put this all out there. When we used to live in Nashville, there's a place called Slim Chickens. It's amazing. It is.
Amazing might be overstating it.
For what you get, it's amazing. And they would do like 4 tenders or
It was
something.
3 tenders in a meal, but the kids' meal only had 2.
Yes. And so you get 2 tenders, the same amount of fries, and garlic like a Texas toast, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and a drink. And like the kids' meal was what, like $4.99 or something for all of that.
Yeah.
And then like the regular meal was like $6.99 or $7.99 for the one extra.
Right. So
thing.
it's not just a portion.
But I couldn't eat the other one.
But I could if
But-
you would have gotten that.
No. So I don't see why I can't just order off the kids menu.
Because you're not a child.
But I was eating the portion for a child.
Unrelated to this, but sort of related to this. I'm going to ask our chat something.
Because I can't see the responses right now. So
Yeah,
do you know?
I'm sure knowing our group, they're totally fine with it. But if you go to a store,
Dan just said kids eat free on Sundays there.
if you go to a store,
Yes.
and I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to the group,
Right.
and you're ringing things up, and you realize when you're outside that, let's say you bought a potted plant, like a pot for a plant,
Right.
you realize there were goods in there they didn't charge you for.
Well, you go back and you tell them.
I don't think everybody does that. You know, I do that.
Right. Maybe not. But that has nothing to do with ordering off a kid's menu when you're just eating the amount that you're paying for.
Dean in the chat is right.
What?
Stop being selfish. Share the extra tender.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That's why we're first in fun, Morgan.
Yeah.
Moving on from Morgan stealing from some chickens.
I'm not stealing.
We have another THPer question.
Fine. Moving on.
Gauging whether or not, this one's really for both of us. Gauging whether or not an event is successful for us in the OEM.
Yes.
And that's really hard. It's hard to quantify in the moment.
Yeah, I also think it's very event specific. I think it's company specific. I think it's not even just, I think it's that specific event with company specific, because it's not even like that company, but it's that specific event with that company, because they might have a couple of them and it varies.
That's correct too. By the way, did you see those championship rings? Just throwing
I
that out
have
there.
seen the championship rings. Did I not say bring home the bling?
Yeah, you did.
I did.
But so I'm going to break this down into a few segments.
Yeah, Matt, I know he's never going to tell me I'm right. I know.
The first is whether or not it's successful for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I start with, did the participants have fun?
Sorry. Dean says he's not sharing this weekend.
Well, we'll see.
Josh isn't either.
Yes.
Agreed.
Did they have fun?
Yes.
That's the most important aspect on our
Agreed.
end there is.
Yes.
For the OEM, did they have fun?
Yes.
You know, again, it's a work thing, but it's still fun.
Still fun. Exactly.
And then there's a few more things that go with that. How were the participants? You know, we had a running joke of, we always say, if you look around the room and you don't see the weirdo, it means you're the weirdo. And I'm talking to Jason and Austin at the dinner, and this is a hats off to the group that was just at the Go Cub. I was like, I didn't see a weirdo. And Jason goes, well, that should tell you something. But there weren't any. You know, we had a good group out there that had a good time and really relished in this. I always call the Go Cup like the most pure form of just competitive golf that we do in an event. So I think that there's a little bit of that to that. So it starts with the fun. When it comes to other things, how does the community engage with it? That's super important for if we want these to continue.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I don't think people
note,
understand like how important it is for those things to keep going. And then post-event, usually there's some review opportunities, or I should say necessaries.
Can we stress that a little more for those that are listening? Like, I want to just stress that more.
Stress which part?
The part about post-event.
Oh yeah.
Updates.
I mean, we've told people on here before that we've had to remove an event from our schedule for that, and we hope they know.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, that event is back this year,
Mhm.
and we're having some slow periods in that. So just throwing that out there.
Up your game, people. Up your game.
But I do think that the live thread, and I've said this on the forum a few times, listen, if somebody doesn't want to tune into a live update thread, don't do it.
No, you can do whatever you want to do. The forum is yours to view as you please.
Exactly. If you're in another event and you want people to follow along with yours,
it behooves.
Like, don't be the asshole who's like, oh, they're just going to follow mine because my event is different.
Right.
Like, do the same thing.
Yeah.
If you feel you're above that, or that you don't want to, or you don't really care, there are people listening. I got a new event. I don't care if people follow along. Fuck you. You're doing it. Sorry. You're doing it wrong.
We were so good for so long.
That's not why we do these things. We want people to understand that what is happening shouldn't happen anywhere. And listen, we're humbled by it.
Agreed.
You are not normally going to win a free trip to go to a place, get fit for a driver, handed the driver, and then put it into play at a private club.
No.
Those things don't happen.
No, you're part of an elite club.
Yeah. So remember that. And if you want them to come back, or you want to have the ability to do them again, like, get out there,
Mhm.
be a little active. Again, nobody's forcing you to. It's up to you.
I
But-
kind of would like to, though.
And
I mean, if I had the option.
somebody sent me a private message this morning. It wasn't like I'm the second greatest shoot fighter or anything, so it wasn't quite that good.
I know.
But they just said, like, how did you choose the shoulder tap? And I said, it's very simple.
Active.
Be active.
It's really
Get
that
involved in
easy.
the event threads. We told people, you want a shot at the Grandaddy and don't want to have to win a contest or win a random number generator or
Be
get
active.
creative, be active. And a couple people did. Some people, I should say more than a couple,
Yeah.
quite a few people did. And we'll get to that later. But somebody earned their chance to go to the greatest golf trip ever created simply by getting involved in another live update thread.
That easy.
Pretty freaking cool.
Ooh, where's that staple button? That was easy.
We have one of those, I think.
Do we really?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, how do I not know this?
It was in your desk. So
No, it was not.
Okay, well, it was.
Oh, well.
For those that following along, it was. So I think that answers the question about the success part of it. When it comes to metrics, it's about our online community.
Yep.
You know, we do things throughout the website, social media, and everything else. But for us, it's about the forum.
Agreed.
Somebody asked for a game update.
This is you.
It's freaking terrible.
You had
So,
a good day and then a
at the
bad
Goat
day.
Cup, I'll lay it out there. I struggle sleeping, as most people who are on our forum know.
Yes.
I
I literally sent you a text message at 4:00 this morning because I saw you get out of bed and I was like, go to sleep.
Yeah, I was.
You were
already,
upstairs. I could see the
I
light
was already
on.
up working.
I know. I saw the light on.
And I'm on a medication now that makes me tired.
Yes, but you don't take it.
No, I have been taking it.
Oh. Well, that's disturbing.
So, but what it's doing is it's kind of a weird thing. So, day one of the Goat Cup, I played pretty darn well. Maybe not on the front nine as much, but back nine we came back and won. I drove the ball well.
Yeah, you said you played like you felt good.
Yeah, hit my irons well. The swing was coming around. By like 4:00, I was dead to the world, and of course we ate late. And I didn't sleep all that well.
And
I had 7:00.
To be fair, anything past 4:00 is
yeah,
good for us.
I didn't sleep all that well, and I woke up and I would say I played like hot garbage, but it's being mean to hot garbage. Like it was freaking awful.
Yeah.
You know when you go through the thing like, oh, how'd you hit it off the tee? Shitty. How'd you hit the irons? They were shitty. Wedges? Oh, very shitty. Oh, putt? Oh, I made one putt. The rest were shitty.
You had a lot of lip outs, didn't you?
On day one.
Oh, I thought day two also.
No, I didn't sniff the hole. I mean, a couple maybe, but it was bad. It was really bad.
I'm trying to help you out
but
here.
Did I mention the rings? Like, there's a couple rings
like
there.
you
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
There's a couple rings there that say we played good enough to win.
Yeah.
Shout out to Team Finley. You know, it was good enough to win.
You still brought home the bling.
That's right. Should I wear them to the budget championship? So maybe put one on Dean's finger so we can each have a ring.
So they know that you're winners?
Yeah.
I have no problem with that.
We're freaking champions.
Yeah.
I mean, one of us is.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
It might hurt to grip the club with it on, though. You're going to take it off
I'd
when
probably
you
have
play.
to take it off. Maybe we could have them mounted to our cart so they could see us coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, I think that could possibly be a way to go. Gonna jump in with something that should get people pretty excited.
All right, do it.
We're going to announce who just won free trips.
Who did?
Yeah. So we do an event called Shaft Up for people who are new, where they win a free trip, airfare, everything's included.
Everything.
This one, it's called Shaft Up. It's with US Team Mamiya. This one is to Hidden Creek, the first ever THP experience at Hidden Creek.
I know, it's exciting.
It's a cool property, and I think people are going to love it. It's got an old school vibe and everything else.
Yeah.
And I have been there, but not since it's been part of Dormy Network.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever do that.
So I'm excited to go back because I've been told there's some routing changes. The conditions are unbelievable, but I was told the clubhouse and stuff is still really cool, and it was before.
Okay.
So they also have a golden tee machine in the men's locker room. Let that sink in.
Wow.
The only thing better would be like, could you shit and play at the same time?
It's disgusting.
What do you guys think? Would
That's
you do that and play golden tee? I know there's people in here who are doing that.
No.
By the way, I know there's people in here who are doing that and thinking, well, yeah, I'm on the phone when I'm doing that.
100%.
They get the little, we call them the knee dimples, you know? Your elbows are on your knees from using your phone so much when you're,
Oh my God.
So true story.
Oh God, I'm afraid to hear this.
It's not involving me.
Okay.
There's a gentleman who was
type up.
who was a PR manager for TaylorMade Golf.
Okay.
For a number of years.
Uh-huh.
And now he's director of PR internally for the PGA Tour. His name rhymes with Dave Cordero. And
he used to tell me that
he would send me a text in the morning. He's like, yeah, I'm working on my knee dimples as I'm playing Brick Breaker. Do you remember that one?
Oh, yes.
This is
Breaker,
before
yes.
iPhones. He was on a BlackBerry.
Yes. I
And
used to play that on my scientific calculator.
of course you did, nerd. But
I
yeah,
admit I'm a
so
nerd.
knee dimples, that's a real thing.
Knee dimples.
But going back, so these two people are going to win.
Yes.
And I can tell you now who they are.
All right, let's hear it.
The first one was kind of cool because he
Mhm.
signed up for every single Shaft Up, I think, since it's been in existence. He's
Okay.
never gotten in one. That is Golfin' Nut.
Congratulations.
He's probably not listening. He doesn't really watch the show or listen. He'll jump in afterward and be like, "Oh, that was a great show," but I could tell by the time they're on the thread.
What's the weather going to be like?
Yeah, he did almost die at one of our events. True story.
We need to make sure that he stays hydrated and healthy.
He was in Arizona, had some drinks in the sun.
That was scary.
Things didn't go well. You don't need to tell me.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep an eye on him.
Yes.
But congrats. He's going to go in and get fit for a new Paradigm driver. And the next person is Mike G.
Congratulations.
Mike has been to a couple of events.
Weather.
He is used to the heat, but
Yes.
I think in New Jersey we should be pretty good based on when that is, but it's going to be a little steamy. I think
it'll still be a little steamy.
So Mike G and Golfin' Nut, congrats. You guys are headed to Shaft Up number 3 for 2023.
Yes.
Going back to a couple THPer questions.
Yep.
This one was interesting because we do a segment on the website called Brand Stories, where we dive in pretty deep to either a brand or a segment of a brand.
Yeah.
Where do we get the ideas from?
Where do you get the ideas
and
from?
where
I
did the ideas come from? Where did the idea for it come from? And how do we choose the brands and things? I'm a history kind of buff kind of guy. Like I don't know the best way because I'm not super interested in just watching the History Channel. But
no, although the
food ones,
yeah, it's amazing.
But I am super interested in learning about stuff I'm passionate for, and it started with me doing some research way back when on Bridgestone golf balls, and I was doing some research on when the low compression golf ball came to be, and why it came to be, and I started learning about this, and there was a tie-in to a certain gentleman. His name's Dan Murphy. He wasn't president of Bridgestone Golf like he is now. He was, a senior VP of sales, I think, at the time. And they didn't have ball fitting. They brought ball fitting out. And I started researching and learning all about this. And I was super into it. And I just started writing it down. And I remember telling you, I said, Morgan, I'm like 2,500 words in, and I haven't even got to the part where they signed Tiger Woods.
Yeah, I know. And I was like, you're going to have to tighten that up because I don't want to edit that.
I started getting into it, and I don't even know if that was the first brand story we did, but it was one of the early ones, and I really enjoyed doing it. So I started doing it more and more. And now we have a lot of brands who reach out that would like some of that done. Obviously, there's a slant that they're looking for, but we won't take those things. It is strictly really my point of view on where a brand has. And usually it's the up and down. For people listening, I'm doing a hand motion. I don't
like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But I told you when you wrote them, like the first couple you did, I said you found your niche.
Yeah, I enjoy it. And our staff writers do a really, really good job, Dean, James, and Hawk, of putting their thoughts on pieces of equipment. I try to keep my distance from that a little bit when I can and do stories on things I'm pretty passionate about. And I've enjoyed it. And I think
Hold your thought. We crashed. Apparently, we're back.
Okay, I don't know what's going on, but I think I found my niche, and I've enjoyed it. And brands come to us looking for to have one done, and if it's something I'm interested in, like we recently did one on Garson grips. When they came to me with the idea, I was like, well, I don't know. And then you start doing it. Fascinating story.
Yeah.
He was a male model.
And
really, really cool. So I've enjoyed kind of learning about that a little bit and choosing brands that I think people would be interested in, especially brands they may not know about. And I have a couple coming that I think people are really going to do. They're probably a month out, but that I think people will really, really enjoy learning about, because they may think they know it, but they haven't really gotten to the deep dive yet where, oh, wait, they went through that. There's an Odyssey one that if you haven't read it, you should. It's about the insert. It's not about the brand,
right?
But the different things that made this brand dominant on tour. And it is a fascinating story.
I love them.
If people haven't read that one yet, I strongly urge you go read the Odyssey one. It was a really, really interesting story. So hope that answers that question. I think we got it kind of covered, but it really just comes down to, is it something I'm interested in? Reminder, we have signups right now for a pretty cool trip.
Yes, we do.
The Project X experience is going to the Dormy Club, West End, North Carolina, the
Mhm.
Southern Pines, Pinehurst area.
Yes.
And it's a cool event. Keenan and I worked pretty closely on this one to come up with something that's awesome. He's
super excited about it.
He's super passionate about it too. You know, you're going to come and get fit for your driver. You may like your driver. Why do you want to change? So it's not brand specific. You can get fit for any driver head you have, but we're going to have shafts there. Keenan and Logan are going to fit you for them.
Yeah, the education part of it.
The education part. If you
top notch.
Don't know anything about shafts, you're going to come out of there knowing about shafts if you choose.
Yeah.
If you just want to get fit and play golf, that's fine too.
Exactly.
But we're going to deep dive into everything from EI curve to shaft to flex profile to materials to everything else, and they're going to learn a little bit about it. So you can sign up for that right now. The signups are going to last through the end of this week, and then we will shut it off, and then next week we'll announce who's going.
Perfect.
THPer question was an interesting one. The biggest equipment surprise in 2023 for me personally.
Yeah.
And I put way too much thought into this as usual.
I was going to say,
and I'm going through like every article our staff wrote, and what surprised me. And I came up with 3 things, and they surprised me in very different ways. So the first, the Mizuno S23 wedge. Boy, that looks really tasty. She's sucking down a C4 right now. The Mizuno S23 wedge really surprised me when I used the ES21, which is their hollow body wedge with perfectly centered CG, and it was I don't want to call it a novelty, but it was kind of novelty to push the limits of what they can do. And then when I talked to their engineers about this one, I was like, oh shit, it's like that, but in the frame of an actual wedge. It looks like a wedge, so I'm excited. And then I put one in my bag, and oh damn, it's really, really good. So that would be one of them. The next, the Paradigm X driver. Like, there's a Paradigm out there for everybody, just like there's other lines. The Paradigm X is the fastest ball speed driver off the toe that I've ever tested since I've been doing THP. Off the toe. Yeah, that's my miss spot, is the toe side. And it's not close. I can tell you, I was with Danny Lee from US Team Mamiya, and we were working with these prototype shafts. And he said, you've missed 6 in a row off the toe. I was like, well, yeah, I'm terrible at golf. Let's start with that. But he said, here's the craziest part. Your ball speed went down 1 to 2 miles per hour on each of them versus the center. That's unheard of. Right. So, but where it gets a little interesting is most of the time, if you hit the toe, people know bulge and roll. They know that toe side miss. Again, assuming path is straight away, the toe side miss will bring the draw or hook in. It doesn't. The spin consistency is dead on. It's as good a driver as I've ever tested since I've been doing this. The third is a different beast, so to speak, and that's the Cobra Aerojet irons. And I'm going to preface this by saying, I'm not sure it's a performance thing as much as it is people need to pay more attention to them. And the reason I'm saying that is when at release, by the pictures online, you're like, okay, well, that's their game improvement set. When you walk into a store or you set it down, it's rather interesting that it's the same size as many of the players' distance irons. It's not a really giant club head. And they've packed a shit ton of forgiveness into this, especially those who miss it vertically, meaning a couple grooves low, couple grooves high. It's packed with forgiveness. So they've done this in a package that if you held up a Strixon ZX5, which nobody says, oh my God, that's a massive iron, it's smaller than that. So those are the 3 that jump out to me. I'll give a quick shout out to 2 other clubs. The first is the Strixon ZX4, which is their most forgiving iron in that line. They made it look phenomenal. And the other one would be the RTX 6 wedges. I've only hit a single one of them, but loved it. People say wedges don't change. That's fucking sorry. That's freaking wrong. They do change.
I need to get one of those like roller things so I can smack your hand.
You don't do that.
That's what I need.
Okay, so I think that covers the surprises. Next would be, we have a contest going on right now, Data Experience. Jump in and pick Team Gavin, Team Jen. That's all you got to do.
Yep, that's it.
You could win pretty awesome prize pack. Yes. It's got shot scope stuff, but it has other stuff too. Who are you taking? because Jeremy and I are going to be there to cover the event for people and play,
Right.
but we're not competing in it. So
No.
you can't get out of it with, oh, my husband's on that team. No, you got to pick a side. Let's hear
So
it.
Team Gavin, Team Jen, right?
Yeah, you've met both of them.
I know. I'm probably going Team Jen.
That's weak.
It's not weak.
It's weak. You do it because she's a girl.
It has nothing to do with it. Have you seen her play?
Yeah, she's really good.
Exactly.
So's Gavin.
I know he's really good.
They're both really, really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so true story. So Danny from USD is actually going to be at Ballyhack the same time we are. I don't know if we're going to
actually see him or not,
but we were talking about the data experience, and he said, I've heard they can play. And I said, you have no idea.
Yeah.
Like, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
He said, better than the people that we're normally playing with. And I said, by a lot. Yeah. And he said, well, you did it at Conservatory last year. Mm-hmm. How did Gavin play? And what tees did he play? I said, he played all the way back. And he said, that's like 8,000 yards.
Yeah, it's really
7,900
really
yards, I think.
It's really long.
And he said, well, what did he shoot? And I said, it was close to par. And he's just like, that's not right. So,
and he hadn't played in a while, right?
No, he hadn't played in a long while. So
I'm still Team Jen.
Yeah. So that's going to be a really good one. I think that we're going to have a pretty good turnout for that one, because the people in the budget championship that is directly following that are going to want to tune in to see what kind of course conditions they're dealing with.
Too, yeah.
So, that should be really exciting. Now, next up, fresh off that, the budget championship with Bag Boy.
Yep.
Contest will be dropping on that
Friday.
It might be tomorrow.
It might be tomorrow.
Yeah. It might be.
I love how we're like, we have no idea.
It might be tomorrow. It's done. I haven't put it out there.
Yeah.
But it might be tomorrow.
Okay.
And the reason being is there's a lot to freaking read over.
Yeah.
So what day is it tomorrow? Tomorrow, Wednesday?
Tomorrow's Wednesday.
It might be no, it's going to be tomorrow.
Is it?
Yeah. Thursday's travel day for me, so I'm going to put it out tomorrow.
We discussed Friday.
Yeah, we did, but I'm going to do it early.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you fix the stuff I told you about then?
I don't remember what that stuff was. Can you refresh my memory?
I will off air.
Oh, you mean the press release part?
Yes.
Yeah, that part is done.
Okay.
I'm not talking about that going out. I'm talking about the forum thread.
No, I'm talking about the forum thread, actually, not the press release.
There was issues in the forum?
Yes, and you said, can you fix that for me? And I said, no, because I don't know what you were trying to say.
Okay. I'll definitely fix that ahead of time.
Okay.
So apparently my writing leaves a little to be desired today. No, that's fine.
There were a couple... You just didn't finish the sentence. And I was like, well, where are you supposed to be going with that?
Does it really need to be? I mean, let's be honest. The group's going to...
They're probably not going to read it.
They're going to skim it
but
anyway.
I'm just saying it.
They're going to skim it. They're going to look at the names and be like, oh, what's this aneme thing? Is that Hello Kitty? Yes, I'm going to run with that. But yes, that's coming out. But dumping on to top of that is, why do we do this event?
Yes.
And this event kind of means a lot to me in that. So going back several years, when I wanted a single retail partner, and I had reached out to two that I was interested in working with. And after one conversation, I said, I'm not working with that company. They're shady. Yeah. I'm not going to say who they are, but I probably can. They're not around anymore.
Doesn't matter.
But so I had a conversation with a couple of people at Budget, and it's like, oh shit, they totally understand what we're trying to do. And we brought the sweep, which was one of the greatest things that anybody has ever done. If you haven't been on THP long, you might have missed that one, but 60 seconds in the Budget Golf Warehouse to grab anything you want. And I remember James and I flying up and doing a trial run, and he did it when I was running with the camera, and I almost ate it twice. But he said, you have no idea how fast 60 seconds goes.
Yeah.
And it came to an end. We had some participants take some liberties with not being attached to the cart. That was on us for not giving out the rules completely, but it was all about fun.
Yes.
And it was about Budget making a dream happen for people. And I think that's the coolest part.
Mm-hmm.
When we started doing the event, they were like, we want to do something different than everybody else. And that's where this came from. And we had team names, and it's cool. You get to go to a THP event and you get a partner, not a full team. You get one partner, but you have no idea who it is. Like, we're going to partner it up. And the original idea was, we were going to tell you you're in, but not tell you who your partner was until you showed up.
Right.
But I liked the team name environment, and I liked doing some stuff like that. I think it brought some fun to it. Guys get logos and gear.
Poor Cobb is getting just railed on because everyone's saying he's the reason the sweep
No,
stopped.
It's absolutely not. JB Cobb did a tremendous job at the event.
He dressed up like Hulk Hogan.
Isn't that his normal attire? He lives in Wilmington.
I don't think so.
I think it is.
I don't think so.
But no, JB Cobb should not get blasted for it.
I mean, I know that everyone's joking, but I just want to make sure I put it out there.
Definitely not. But we wanted to do something different, and this is different. And if you've been to one, if you were in the one last year or are going to this one this year, it has changed so much since what it used to be. It used to be just kind of a cluster of a lot of people playing golf in 2-man teams. Now it is tight knit, getting it done. Enter Dynamic Brands, which is Bag Boy, Devant. They've added a different spin to it also that's fantastic. We have the president of Dynamic Brands and Craig teaming up with Scott from Budget to make, the Vatican of a team name, which
that was my work.
Of course it was, because it's horrible when you think about it. Which I don't think we've
no, I don't think so. I don't think we can. I will say one thing real quick.
What's that?
The event would be better
if it only had 8 people.
I was gonna say 12. I was gonna give you 12. I was gonna give you 12. I was gonna give you 12.
If that event returns, and I cannot say if it will, but if it event returns, it will not have less people. It'll have 16 again. Maybe we bring more. No, I'm just kidding. But it'll have 16 again.
If you guys could see the death stare I'm giving him right now.
So part of this is because we've just held a few events. So we've gotten these bills in, and you're like, oh shit. People like alcohol.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're excited to bring this one back.
No, I'm very excited about it.
You just want it with 8 people.
At 12 people. I didn't say 8.
It's not coming back, but it's really up to the THPers.
12.
It's up to the THPers if this one comes back.
That's true. That's very true.
Make the event awesome. It's going to come back. Make it about you and you alone. It's probably not going to.
No.
And that's just kind of the way it is. So I'm going to switch it over to you. For those following the rant thread, we've had a couple trying days with Arrow.
Yeah.
Our old man is right there.
You can't see him right now. He's sleeping soundly next to me, fortunately. It was rough. Last night was really rough. Josh and I think, got a total of 2 hours, maybe 3 hours of sleep.
Something like that.
He's got this, he can't breathe. And he sounds like he's choking all of the time.
Now, keep in mind, this dog is 14 or 15 years old, and he has a lot of health issues. He's got bladder stones. He's got a heart murmur. He's got a lot of things, and we take he's a special needs dog, and we take special care of him.
He's got kidney disease. He's got liver disease. He's got gallbladder disease. He's got it all. And he couldn't breathe. He couldn't eat. He was lethargic. It was very scary. And we brought him to the doctor on Friday, and they said, his lungs are a little cloudy, but we really think it's just allergies. So we're going to treat him with a cough suppressant and an antihistamine and an antibiotic just in case there's a little infection. And let's see what happens. And he started to get a little bit better. And then last night was awful. He woke himself up all night long choking. And then this morning, all morning choking. And I say choking, I can't.
And you thought it was the end.
I thought it was the end. I had a full on I had a full on meltdown. This was the best you were getting from me, because I had a full breakdown. I was I was accepting. Well, I wasn't really accepting it well, but I was processing, I should say, that I thought when we went to the vet today that they were going to tell us it is his heart and this is that. Fortunately, it turns out he has a collapsed trachea.
Which sounds way worse than it really is.
Than it is. So basically, it's every time he's trying to breathe or eat or he lays the wrong way, his trachea closes.
So you know what we did?
What?
We went full on Barry Bonds and got him some steroids.
Yeah, we did. So he's now on 3 additional medications on top of his normal medication. Oh, and he's also gone deaf.
Oh, yeah. He can't hear at all.
Out of nowhere, he went deaf. Turns out he has ear infection in both ears.
So he gets drops in his ears now.
Well, yeah. So I'm gonna get to that in a second. The craziest part is the doctor's his ears look perfect. There's no signs of an ear infection anywhere. She's like, but we'll swab him and test him. Sure enough, both ears have an ear infection. So now we have to do 5 drops in each ear twice a day. Here's the fun part.
He hates
it. You have to basically headlock him to do it. It's a 2-person job. However.
Yeah, I'm leaving.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do this by myself for the next week, because it's 7 to 10 days, but we'll figure it out.
We'll figure that part out.
Yeah.
So
but that's the story.
Thank you guys all for your well wishes.
Seriously,
he is our child, and he's been with us a long time.
It was really rough, and I was not in a good place.
Switching to a pretty good place. Can we get to the
main event?
Yeah. Well, we're going to start with how,
Oh, yeah, there's some more.
There's a bumper sticker.
No, this is not good.
Yeah,
this
it
is
is
you
good.
being rude.
It's not rude.
It's rude.
Okay, let me explain. You can support the Team Legacy name. And listen, I love this team so far. I think it's amazing.
I don't think you do.
Hey, listen, lock it up for a second.
You're
The
so silly.
the THPers voted to choose a captain. Well,
Yeah.
first they voted to nominate a captain.
Yep.
And we had a bunch of nominations. Then they voted to choose a captain. They chose M. Maynard. Listen, we know Matt personally. He's all in. He's excited.
Yeah.
The assistant captain we personally chose. That was much more. I understand that we had to pull him away from the Moosin.
The Moosin?
Yeah, he lives in Montana. There's a lot of moose there.
The Moosin.
At least his partner next door has told me that.
The sad part is, like, if people understood, like, it's our joke, but they don't get it.
No,
so, like, yeah.
That's okay. But
yeah.
they've done a great job. The team seems like they're super excited. My thing is, they came up with their own team name, which is Legacy.
Yeah.
Which is also a Subaru.
Who cares?
I do. So
nobody else cares, though.
But I do.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter to me.
Doesn't matter.
My take is, everywhere in golf, there's a landmine of trademarks you got to go through.
Right.
Okay. Whether it's slider can't have an eye.
Right.
Or
yeah. You got to spell things weird.
Blackbird gets taken off, whatever it is.
Yeah.
This one should have been gone through because this is Team Coexist bumper sticker.
No.
And they could have done better.
You're just rude.
Maybe. Listen, I've been called a lot worse probably in the last 24 hours.
Yeah. I think it's great. I think Legacy. I think it's wonderful. It's 10 years. I think it's perfect name. I support it. You have my support.
They don't care.
Oh, they care. They care. You have Arrow's support.
He definitely can't hear a word of this.
No, he can't hear anything. Literally, like, you could, like, be directly next to him and call his name. He can't hear anything.
But he likes the Subaru commercial. It's got dogs in it.
It does have dogs in it.
There you go.
No.
I think you're wrong.
You're welcome, everybody. I support you.
But I support this team.
Yes.
And they are getting another participant.
Still don't know if you do, though.
I mean, it's happening.
No, yeah. That's part's happening. Yes. Go ahead. Make your announcement, even though you're a traitor.
A traitor?
Traitor.
How am I a traitor?
Just are.
Do you know what traitor means?
I do.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking.
It's a moosin.
It's Meese. The group of moosin is Meese.
Meese, okay.
As I said earlier, we put out something that said, listen, no contest for the next one. We're going to give somebody a shoulder tap. And what that means, I just hit this freaking thing again.
Did you?
Get involved in the forum. Hey, guess what?
Shoulder tap.
You're going to the Grandaddy. All expense paid trip, new bag of clubs, the whole 9 yards. Seems like a pretty good reason to get involved.
I think so.
But some people didn't even see that we announced that we were going to do that, let alone get involved. But for those people who did, thank you. First of all, there were a number of people who got super involved. Mm-hmm. It was hard when we went. First, I went through the thread again, and then I went through the data. And it was hard because on one side, you're just like, okay, as a person just posting every 3 posts just to be involved.
Right.
So you have to look at each individual post because this is a big deal.
Oh, absolutely. Because they're going to be part of a legacy.
Yeah. They're going to coexist with the rest of the team.
No, they're going to be part of a legacy.
Nailed it. But a couple of people were really involved.
Yes,
and it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And so we can't shoulder tap everybody, but I can tell you that the shoulder tap for being involved in the forum, not going away.
No.
Anytime soon.
I love it.
So we got 2 big events coming up this year. We just shoulder tap 2 people into an event that might not even happen. So next year's budget championship, again, if it returns,
right,
has Marmill and Baylor Balla. That's their forum name for people listening to the podcast. Are like, what the hell is that?
Right.
They are in.
Yeah.
Not with the name they think, but
okay.
I liked Texas Tooth Step first, but we'll come up with something good.
Yeah.
But a lot of people were around. So get involved. We have 2 events coming up, a lot more coming up the rest of the year. You may get tapped right into something of your choice, or maybe a golden ticket where you get to choose whatever you want.
Yeah. You never know.
The Grandaddy tap this year, Faro HB, you are headed to the 2023 Grandaddy of Mall with Callaway. Congratulations. You were so involved in the Goat Cup
It was awesome.
Whole flyovers to this is how to play the whole. I mean, from the minute the thread went up to the finale to even afterward, you've been involved the entire way. Congratulations. You're going to the Grandaddy of Mall. Get that bumper sticker ready. Slap it on the back of the car.
Get ready to be part of a legacy.
He's going to coexist with the rest of his team.
You're going to coexist on the couch tonight.
Sounds like a win. That is it for us this week. Next week, we're going to have a late show because we have the Shot Scope Data Experience coming up this weekend. And then next week, we have the Budget Championship.
Back to back.
Yep, back to back. 7 straight days at Alley Hack for me. And then come back here and arrive with
my entire family.
Her entire family will be here.
And
but
I mean my entire family.
Yeah, sister-in-law, niece and nephew, all
Mom,
of them.
dad, brother-in-law.
Cannot wait. So if I'm not here, it would be because I took my life.
Stop it.
No, that would be a terrible thing to say.
Yeah.
But we will be back next week, most likely on Friday with another show, and maybe have a couple surprises in that show.
I feel like if we have a show, it has to have something.
Yeah, we're gonna drop something that people don't know is coming. So for myself and Morgan,
and I hope that I'm gonna have a really good update on Arrow for you guys.
Yes. So for myself and Morgan, thanks for tuning in this week, everybody. We will see you next week.
Thanks, everybody.